All tropical cyclone wind signals have been lifted as Typhoon Bising accelerates while moving away from the Luzon landmass. A medical expert is calling for an extension of the MECQ in Metro Manila as hospitals continue to buckle under the weight of rising COVID-19 infections. Senate Minority Leader Frank Drilon says General Antonio Parlade is illegally occupying his position as NTF-ELCAC spokesperson. The Maginhawa Community Pantry earns more big-time donors after the NTF-ELCAC officials cautioned the public against supporting the initiative. And Smart has officially kicked off its partnership with Grammy-nominated group BTS with an ad that urges fans to live their passion with purpose. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. Starting off today's newscast with Typhoon Bising picking up speed as it moves further away from northern Luzon. Bising was last spotted around 575 kilometers east-northeast of Basco, Batanes. It continues to bring cloudy skies and scattered rain showers over Batanes, Cagayan, and the Babuyan Islands. All tropical cyclone wind signals have been lifted in the country. Typhoon Bising is expected to exit the Philippine area of responsibility on Sunday. However, as of this morning, gale warnings are still raised over Batanes and the Babuyan Islands due to the effects of Bising. This means sea travel remains risky over the said areas. The Private Hospitals Association of the Philippines is appealing for an extension of the MECQ in NCR beyond April. This as the rising number of COVID-19 cases continue to take its toll on the hospital occupancy rate in the metro. Greg Gregorio with a full report.
This is how the emergency triage area of the Lung Center of the Philippines looks like as of 12 noon on Thursday. Dr. Vincent Balanag, the hospital's medical chief, said their COVID-19 bed utilization rate is currently at 93%. While it shows improvement from last week's full utilization, Balanag noted that the hospital remains at critical risk category.
May siyam na supposedly vacant, but right now meron pa rin kaming 14 na nasa ER waiting to be admitted.
Around 80% of COVID-19 patients admitted in the hospital are classified as severe and critical. It's expecting 20 additional beds this week and about 50 to 100 more by April 30 or in the beginning of May.
Hopefully, madidicongest na talaga yung ER namin na wala nang masyadong tatagal dun sa ER namin.
But Dr. Jose De Grano of the Private Hospitals Association said this is not the case in other medical facilities.
Walang masyadong pagbabago, no? Karamihan talaga nandun pa rin sa high risk and critical occupancy level, especially sa National Capital Region.
The Health Department reported on Wednesday that the healthcare utilization rate in NCR is at around 68%, but the utilization rate of ICU beds remains at 82%, which is considered as high risk. De Grano noted, however, that there is lesser physical queuing of patients in emergency room triage areas. He attributed this to the triaging done by local government units in one hospital command referral system. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergara explained that one factor for high hospital utilization is the rising cases.
Now, within the hospital, pag ikaw ay mild, maaari ka mag-progress sa severe at maaari ka mailipat sa ICU.
With this, De Grano recommended the extension of modified ECQ across the NCR Plus beyond April 30.
Kasi pag nag-open na naman tayo to GCQ, I think medyo biglang tataas pa ulit yung ating cases.
Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said it's premature to speculate about the new quarantine classification. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
Ana Patricia Non claps back at another NTF-ELCAC spokesperson who questioned her motives in starting the Maginhawa Community Pantry. She says Lorraine Badoy's accusations were baseless and trivial and thus must be ignored. Lynn Olivario with a report.
Despite controversies, donations keep flooding in at the Maginhawa Community Pantry, including these goods from these OFWs.
That lady there, Miss Anna, is doing something really, really benevolent.
That Ana is Patreng Non, the organizer of the initiative, who has been the subject of red tagging accusations.
I also doubt if they know the meaning of the word communism or who is a communist.
It's not only civilians who made donations today. Members of the armed forces also dropped by with goods pulled from sponsors and donors.
We may have different opinions, we have different beliefs, but ang nananaig, isang Pilipino tayo, so dapat nagtutulungan tayong lahat.
Although grateful for AFP's donation, Patreng believes the military must call out those from among their ranks who continue to mindlessly red tag and harass civilians. AFP Chief Cirilito Sobejana himself reminded NTF-ELCAC spokesperson Antonio Parlade to be careful with his allegations.
I called the attention of General Parlade. I invited him to this headquarters at the general headquarters. I reiterated to him my guidance, and that is to be very deliberate and exercise due diligence in all our actions, may it be by words or in deeds.
But another NTF-ELCAC spokesperson, Lorraine Badoy, questioned the online donation drive for the community pantry, which managed to raise over $18,000 US. Badoy enumerated the organizations Patreng allegedly belongs to, accusing Patreng of deception. Patreng shrugged off these allegations.
Hindi totoo, baseless po, and mababaw po. So ang tingin ko po, hindi na siya dapat pinagbibigyan ng pansin.
According to Patreng, her sister in the U.S. started the drive for international donors without Philippine bank accounts. The funds were used to buy goods directly from Benguet farmers. Patreng said she's ready to take on Badoy's challenge to give a clear accounting of the monetary donations. Earlier, the Commission on Human Rights visited the pantry to check on Patreng. They also offered her help to ensure her safety. Patreng is currently eyeing the possible relocation of the Maginhawa Community Pantry to a bigger, safer space that would allow a more organized distribution. For News 5, Lynn Olivario, We Are One News.
As the NTF-ELCAC slams the alleged use of community pantries for politicking, Gabriela claims that setting up a community pantry is political in nature. In an interview with the Chiefs, Representative Arlene Brosas of Gabriela Women's Party said the issues surrounding community pantries are indeed very political. She calls these pantries manifestations of the country's lack of good governance.
Sa totoo lang, yung pantry ay manifestation ng mas malawak o mas malalim na problema ng ating bansa, no, sa pamumuno at pamamahala. Kaya very political po siya. Merong dapat managot kasi nagkukulang, no? Hindi talaga mapakain yung mamamayan natin. So wala pong maiuwi sa bahay ang mga mamamayan natin na walang trabaho and economically insecure. So kung ganun po natin ilalagay yun, no? Para maintindihan ng lahat kung bakit political ang nature niyan at kung bakit sinasabi din ni Parlade at pinipigilan niya ang political and civil rights ng mga tao sa pamamagitan ng pagsasabi na dapat walang ano dyan, dapat ganito yan, or kung ano-ano, sino siya para magsabi nun, ano?
Brosas also questioned the large budget allocated for the NTF-ELCAC, calling it, quote, general's pork. She said this budget could have been better used if allotted for other things, and the lawmaker also pointed out redundancy in funds as the Army has a current budget of 200 billion pesos on top of the NTF-ELCAC's 19 billion pesos.
Ang problema po dito sa NTF-ELCAC budget, menu duplicate po ito, no? Kasi yung mga pinapatupad, yung mga project supposedly na sinasabi nila na 822 barangays daw, no? Sa 16.44 billion na budget na yan. Ano yan alam natin na meron na rin yang mga project na yan ang mga district representatives natin. So ultimately, saan siya mapupunta? Mapupunta siya ultimately, alam natin, nasa discretion ng national government or particularly ng AFP. At alam niyo po ang budget ng AFP ngayon, pagkalaki-laki, di ba? 200 plus billion budget. Tapos itong 19 billion budget ng NTF-ELCAC ay dagdag lang doon.
Some lawmakers are now calling to defund the NTF-ELCAC amid these baseless red tagging incidents. Meanwhile, the palace defended the task force, saying they should still be allowed to do their duties. Mean Los Baños with the details.
Oh my! This was Senator Joel Villanueva's reaction after NTF-ELCAC spokesman Antonio Parlade likened community pantry initiator Patricia Non to Satan. Villanueva called on fellow lawmakers to defund the agency next year and use its 19 billion peso budget for the social amelioration program instead. Senator Win Gatchalian concurred, saying it's not worth spending hard-earned taxpayers' money on the agency. But for Parlade, it's better to just take him out of the task force. After all, he claimed that his spokesman's stint is pro bono. Parlade said his salary comes from being the Southern Luzon commander of the armed forces.
Kung ako lang naman ang gusto nilang targetin, yung kalokohan ko ang sinasabi nila at doon sila hindi agree, ako na lang ang tanggalin nila, wag nang pakialaman, wag nang idamay yung buong NTF-ELCAC.
Senator Kiko Pangilinan in a statement said Parlade must shut up as his baseless accusations tarnish AFP's prestigious image. But Parlade said only the president can tell him to do so. He even vowed to step down if proven that he's indeed giving the task force troubles. Senator in ex-top cop Ping Lacson, who has been defending the NTF-ELCAC budget, said Parlade's uncalled for statements may just make him budge. For Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon, there's no need for 2022 to defund NTF-ELCAC. Drilon urged President Duterte to take swift action. Senator Risa Ontiveros is also in favor of the move. In fact, Ontiveros wanted to abolish NTF-ELCAC altogether.
Maling-maling mga gawain tulad ng pagre-red tag pati sa community pantry. So kumbaga, hindi nila ipinakitang karapat-dapat silang nakatanggap ng ganyang kalaking budget.
In reaction to the senator's call, Parlade said he's not worried at all.
If the basis of the senators are the words they read in the slanted news of this media, like profiling, like red tagging, which we did not do, then by all means, okay, i-defund nila. But at the end of the day, sinong huhusga sa kanila?
For Malacanang, the task force has a legitimate purpose.
So sa akin po, hindi naman po justified yan. No? Hayaan natin gawin nila ang katungkulan nila.
For Senate President Tito Soto, the NTF-ELCAC is inherently a good organization. Soto said erring officials should instead be replaced and defanged. Reporting for News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
Despite criticizing the NTF-ELCAC, Senate Minority Leader Frank Drilon believes the government cannot defund the agency just yet. Speaking with the chiefs, Drilon explained that since the General Appropriations Act of 2021 has already been enacted into law, lawmakers can no longer tamper with the task force's 19 billion peso budget. Instead, the senator simply wants the NTF-ELCAC to submit an accounting of how these funds are utilized. Although Drilon added that the president can still realign a majority of their funding for COVID-19 response.
The president has the full authority to realign the 16.4 billion. There is authority under the law to use these funds for vaccination. There is also authority there to use these funds for the indigent individuals. So if the president is minded to, he has the full authority under the law to channel or to realign these funds from the 822 so-called clean barangays and realign it as ayuda to the NCR plus areas.
However, Drilon also claimed that Lieutenant General Antonio Parlade Jr. should not have been allowed to occupy his position at the NTF-ELCAC in the first place.
He is I think a major general in the armed forces. He occupies a position in the NTF-ELCAC, which is a civilian position, and that violates the rules of the Constitution. And these are one of my disappointments. Hindi na pinapakinggan ng Senado.
It's disco overload as Smart Communications finally releases its newest campaign with world sensation BTS. And just like every single one of the group's releases this pandemic, it was certainly a big hit. MJ Marfori with the details.
Smart will be in the stars tonight. It has finally launched its campaign with the world's leading pop icon, BTS. The much-awaited campaign, filmed in Seoul at the height of the lockdown, aired simultaneously across 14 Smart sites in the country. It was set to BTS hit Life Goes On. And Dynamite. The songs align with Smart's mission to offer messages of encouragement to the public. The ad also showed the septet walking up different kinds of stairs. Smart Senior Vice President Jane Basa said it represents overcoming life's challenges.
That's what we want our audiences to do, right? Embrace their passions and believe that with hard work, that with resilience and with grit, that they can do it.
In using Smart, BTS urged users to live their passion with purpose.
Passion and purpose have no limit with Smart Prepaid.
For News 5, MJ Marfori, VR1 News.
Aside from the world-class TVC, Smart also included other features that made every Army swoon. This included a light stick website feature that makes watching the video extra special. That is on top of never before seen photos of Namjoon, Seokjin, Hosok, Yoongi, Jimin, Taehyung, and Jungkook. Smart promised more surprises for Filipino Army in the coming months, including special photo cards and exclusive videos. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. You can also check out our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.